After making a small note, we'll come back to the example. Okay, so come to HTML. Right inside this HTML, you have idea, it's called a hypertext markup language. MAN, hypertext markup language. Now, what is inside HTML and what we are going to study and how to use that? So we can write here. It has collections of predefined HTML tags. It has a predefined tags we can write. It's already HTML. It has a predefined collections of tags. Next, we can write the HTML tags. The HTML tags used to create basic structure of web page. HTML used to create the basic structure. HTML tags used to create the basic structure of come down. So what HTML says? HTML says like it has a collections of predefined tags, and using that tag we can create the basic structure of web page. Now below you write HTML tags. HTML tags. We have written one line. HTML tag used to create the basic structure of web page. Now, if you create a basic structure of web page, for what purpose you will create the structure of web page? So we can write here in little different way. It used to collect information from user and it used to display information to user. It used to collect information from user and it used to display the information to user. Right? So using HTML, what we are doing? We are going to create the basic structure of web page, and with the help of that web page, what we can do? We can display the information to user and we can collect the information from user. But HTML cannot deal with the user directly. What will come in between? Look at the photo. HTML is here and user is here. In between, what we have? Browser we have. Right? So browser will become a common platform where HTML will execute and user will interact. So I will write here what we wrote. It used to collect the information from user and it used to display the information to user via web browser. Now the sentence becomes complete sentence. It used to collect the information from user and it used to display information to user via web browser. But again, if HTML have a feature to take the input from user, display the output to user via web browser, why the CSS will come in between? That next line will write. Okay, next line will write. The HTML tags has a limitation. So limited property and values. HTML tag has limited property and value. Now, due to this limitation, what required? CSS is required for a responsive web page design. If you are going to create a responsive web page, you need HTML. That is fine. HTML will take the input from user and HTML will display the output to user. But what problem we have? The HTML tags, what we are going to study, it has somewhere limitation. What is that limitation? It has a limitation on that line, you can say, property and values. Now, due to that limitation, only HTML is not sufficient to create a responsive web page. In that case, we required help from the CSS. So we wrote, due to this limitation, CSS is required for responsive web page design. How that works? Let me write below. If you are creating a responsive web page, then HTML will give you the tags that is 100% true, plus in this tag will not find much property value to fulfill all the requirement of user. So there you have to take the CSS, and from CSS you take the property and values. So whichever the mobile app we see, whatever the very good design application we see, and we use that, right? The look and feel will come definitely from the CSS. and design structure of the page will come from the HTML side. Both will combine together. Look and feel is also better, and page will be of very good design, and it will work in all the devices. So, right. So, what is the final line of HTML, and what you are going to use of that? With the help of HTML, will create the web page, and that web page will not be very good responsive. There, the CSS will come. CSS will give us the property value, and HTML will give the tags. Both will combine together, and then we'll make a better page. HTML tag. HTML is very rich in the tag. HTML has a lot of tags. But when you talk about the CSS, CSS has only property value. So tags you can take from the HTML side, and property value you take from the CSS side. Combine together, and then your page will become responsive. So that point I'm leaving there. Now I'm coming to the next part. Next point. Okay. Next point represents type. When we saw in the previous line tags and all, so how the tags look like? PAGS. What is that and how that look like? So you can write. This is called open tag, and this is called a close tag. With the slash is called a ending, without slash is called a starting. All the tags, HTML, predefined tag, all or user defined tag. Even they will create the tag, we will write like that, open and close. Now what name will come inside the angle bracket, that is the next matter. That may come from the predefined also or user defined also. But whichever the tag you are going to follow, it look like this. It look like this. Now these tags, what we are talking, correct? You are going to use multiple technology together. So when you talk about the HTML, in the term of HTML, it will be called a tag. Like suppose I open something like this and I close something like this. Correct? So in the term of HTML, we will call it a this one, call it a tag. Yes, HTML tag. But when you write the same thing again and deal with the CSS, that time in the term of CSS, you will call it a this one. Right? Call it a selector. So when you read from internet some theory or maybe any video once you watch, many people use this word called a selector. So question is, what is selector? So in HTML, whichever the tag we are going to write, all the tags will be called a selector in the term of CSS. Okay? One more line to write, not one more line, two more lines to write. Okay? Because that kind of video you will be watching maybe from internet. Now write another line. So when we write like this, same thing in the term of JavaScript, it will be called a, in HTML it's called a tag. In the CSS, what is called? Selector. Okay, but in the term of JavaScript, it will be called a element. E-L-E-M-E-N-T. In the term of JavaScript, it will be called a element. Same thing when you go under the React. Under the React, it will be called a JSX element. Right? Under the React, it will be called a JSX element. So I'll write here different names of HTML tags. What other name we have for HTML tag? So when we write like this, it is called a tag in HTML. When we write like this only, it is called a selector in CSS. Selector is 5 types. We are going to discuss on that once we come in CSS. In the term of JavaScript, it will be called a element, and in the term of React, it will be called a JSX element. Right. Okay. So when you see, if anyone is writing the code, maybe any video you watch from YouTube or anything, if you see suppose someone is writing some code and he will keep speaking also, in a case he use the word called selector, he use the word called JSX element, he use the word called tag, everything is pointing to what? HTML tags on. HTML will be, okay, it will be called as HTML tags. Technology wise name will be different. Come down now. Next point we have, how many type of tags we have. So we saw when we write within the angle bracket, it's called a open tag. When we write without slash is called a open tag, and with slash is called a closing tag. Now you will write below how many type of tags we have. Type of tags. How many types they have? How many type of tags they have? Okay, right. Now, before writing the answer, look into our daily activity, what we do on internet. When you go to the Amazon, what you do in Amazon? In Amazon.com, you go to the particular product, you will click on the product. It will display the multiple photo, it will display different type of description. It will display the comments of the user, it will display the single product. So question is, when we go to the Amazon, we saw some kind of outputs are appearing. So you are able to see the product details, price, quantity, in stock, out of stock, where it come from. Someone will upload, seller will upload, right? Who is selling the product in Amazon, they will upload that information, right? So when the seller will upload the information, for the seller it becomes an input. Now when the customer came to the website and he is able to see the product information, that is called an output. Okay. Now when you come to your Twitter, what you do? you will have some kind of question, some URL. You will go there, just write some message and send. Right. So when you are writing the message, it becomes the input for you, and your message will display to your followers. So for him, it becomes the output. Right? In Gmail, what you do? In Gmail, once you go, you click on compose email. Email box will appear. There to whom you want to send, what you want to send, who is the sender, right? Subject line, content, body. After that, attachment, everything we add, and finally we send it. So when you are giving this all the input, this all are called the input, and the email will get delivered to someone. He will read your email. For him, it becomes the output. Okay? One side, person has to do one input. Another side, it will be converted into output. When I go to the YouTube, I upload the video. YouTube will ask what is your video title, what is the description, correct? What is the video URL? Select the video. After that, they'll start uploading. Last step, it will ask you want to make private or public. Correct? So we need to select that, and then we need to upload it. So when I upload the video, it asks multiple input. But when you watch the video, what will come for you? Only one video will play. Along with that, related video will come. Along with that, what will come? Comments will come, likes, all will come. Correct? Right? So when I upload the video in YouTube, it's becoming the input for me. But when you watch the video from the YouTube, it's becoming the output. Right? Any other website where you see apart from input and output? Study page. That is also called output. That is output only. The static page is what is called as output. Okay. So question is, I'm not talking based on input. Input can be given by someone else. Output can be visible to someone else. So in web application, what you do? You do input and output. These two things only. Apart from that, anything else? You will say watch the video. That is also output only. You will say listen the music. That is also output. Okay. So your entire questions will get replaced with the not entire question. The question what you have in mind, how many type of HTML tags we have, just split based on your day-to-day experience into type. You can speak an interview anywhere. If anyone will fail you, you can ask me. Messenger web app, like Facebook, there also we type the message from one side, message will go to friend, he will give the message, it will come to you. When you type the message input, he will send the message to you, that's becomes an output. Input and output. Okay. You have not seen anything else apart from input and output where in the web application. Okay. So we have multiple type of input tag and we have multiple type of output tag. Okay. But when you keep all the tag one place and start filtering what you will do and what you will do. So one tag will say I can take the input, another tag will say I can display the output. Okay. So you write inside your developer guide how many type of tag we have. We have two category of tag we have. One you can say call it a input tags and another one you can say the output tags. Output tags. If anyone will ask how can you say input and output, you can say open any website and tell me what you can do in this. Open any website and what he will do in this. He will register somewhere, he will click somewhere. That only activity will do. When you start entering something, you say this is called input. And when something page will load, that is called what? Output. Okay. Yes, type of inputs are different and type of output is different. According to need, we are going to learn what type of input we should follow when and what type of output we should follow when. That we are going to learn. Okay. Right. So with the help of input tag, okay, with the help of input tag, it used to collect information from user. It used to collect the information from user. Output tag, it used to display information to user. One is going to display the information to user in a well formatted way. Another one is going to take the input from user in well organized structured way. So input tag and output tag. Next, after that, with the help of this input tag and output tag, you will start creating the page. Now, when you start creating the page, then remaining input will come. What input will come? Let's write below. Okay, you have seen already. Let me write here another point called a structure of HTML tags. A structure of HTML tags. This point we are writing for the purpose of okay, browser dependency. Browser dependency, what that represent? Browser dependency represent your page should be able to work in Mozilla, Chrome, IE, Safari, Opera, whichever the browsers are available in the market. Your page must be able to work in all the browsers. Okay, so that point is called browser dependent or independent. If your page is not working in all the browser, then you can say your page is browser dependent. If your page is working in all the browser, then you can say your page is browser independent. If your page is working properly in all devices, a small device also, large device also, then you can say your page is responsive page. If your page is working in the big size of the device, then you can say your page is non-responsive page. Okay. So we are writing called a structure of HTML tag. What it is going to help us? It is going to help us if you follow the proper structure of HTML tag, your page will not be browser dependent. It will work proper in all the browser. Okay. So for that we have 2 points. You can write here. Number 1. So I will point as a 3. I will write as a third point. Third point I'll say like dependent tag. DEPENDENT dependent tag also I can write, or we can write call it element also, element, because HTML tags are called element also in the term of where JavaScript. So you can see here written on the top, JavaScript in the term of JavaScript is called element. So I wrote called dependent element. Now what is the dependent element? Understand here. You have already idea, just we need to filter it out. For example, you might have seen multiple videos there. HTML tag open like this, and HTML tag will get closed like this, right? You have seen also many times body tag will open like this, and body tag get closed like this. Body is a part of HTML. Purposefully, I am writing the name in line. Okay. Similar way, so this HTML and body becomes a predefined tag. Now I will open here a hello tag, and I'll try to close the this one, hello tag. Right. So hello becomes a user-defined tag. It is not exist anywhere now. Okay. Under the JSX, once we learn XML and all, we will create our own tag that will be called a JSX. JavaScript and XML, there we can create everything as a user-defined tag. Hello. Hello, sir. Yes. No, sir. Still, I think 5 days medicine are available. So, you can listen and call. Okay. Next, after that, what we wrote here, we wrote called a dependent element. So, what is the dependent element you saw here? HTML open from one side and closing in the another side. Body open in one side, close another side. Hello open one side and hello close another side. So all the HTML tags, or maybe user-defined tag also or predefined tag also, wherever we have open separate and close separate, that is called a dependent element. Okay, dependent element. Now, why we need to know this one? If you are not following this rule, if you not understand and implement properly dependent tag, then your page will become browser dependent. And once the page will become browser dependent, then definitely user experience will be bad. It will not work in all the browser, or maybe output will go here there in browser. Okay, that is one point. Another point is called a access object model. There is a word called access object model, right? So when you design a page, and after that page you give to the browser will execute your page, it will give the output. Your page will go to the server. Then from server, people start searching, people start browsing the page. Tomorrow, once the project development is finished, then marketing team will come and they'll start promoting the website so that they can get online customer. So at that point, when your page will introduce to the Google search engine, saying like this is the website, when the people search like this, please display in the search. Right? At that point, access object model will come in the picture. Okay, and then when access object model will come in the picture, at that point, the browser will check the page you have written, the content inside the page. Is it following the structure of the document or not? The content of the page is well structured or not? Content of the page is interlinked or not? Okay. In that case, again, your page will get failed if you are not following this rule. Which rule? Dependent element. Page will be working. I'm not saying page will not work, but it will get failed in which case? When the main matter will come, right? So what will follow? We will then you will ask how we'll remember. That only we are learning. Like whenever the tag is open and closed, not only in your class, wherever you see on internet, in the hard copy, soft copy, anywhere, if the tag is open and closed, your thought should come over. It's called a dependent tag. Right? So what we can write here? Write one line. Okay. For those tags as separate open and close. Those tags as open, separate open and close. Separate open and close. Those tags as a separate open and close. If you will not follow this rule, definitely page will become browser dependent, and after that you will not get the desired output what you are expecting. Okay, so now that is called what? Dependent element. Fourth point you can write inside, that is called independent element. Independent element. Dependent element as well as independent element. Now what is the condition of independent element? Look at here. The independent element look like this. Independent element look like this. Like on the top we have hello open and hello close. I'll write here a tag or BR tag. Most of the time you will see on internet like this. It is wrong. It will not work in all the technology. So we have to put the slash in the last. Representing slash is not in the beginning, tag is open. And again in the last slash will come, it represents the tag is closed. So open and close together. That is called a independent tag. Okay. But if you write like this, it will work in HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, it will work. React, Angular, two technology will not work. Two technology will have some certain process to execute the file. Before execution of the file, it will check compilation process will happen, and it will check your template is well organized or not, document is well structured or not. In that case, if you write just BR like this, then here you can see without slash what we are introducing, open tag, and with slash we are introducing as a close tag. When here compiler will come, they'll come to know it's open and close. But same compiler, when they'll go here, what they'll think? Open, but where is the close? Close is not there. So it will conflict the other tag. And finally, your page will throw the error, template parsing error. Okay, so the best practice is that should work in all the technology. Put the slash in the last. You are informing to the browser saying like tag is started and the tag is end also. Both open and close together. Even this is also called a self-closing tag. It is also called a self-closing tag. We can write here self-closing tags. Self-closing tag. Okay, self-closing tag. Now come next. Here you can add some more tag. BR is written. Add one more tag called HR. HR. You can write here called ABC tag. Close in the last. User defined, predefined. Both will be the part of independent tag as well as dependent tag. Self-closing tag. What you will write in that? One line of answer. You will write one line. Those tags. Those tags open and close together. Those tags open and close together. Those tags open and close together. That is called an independent tag as well as self-closing tag. Right? So I think you are connected. You are connecting properly. HTML, when we want to learn, we have to look inside what is the use and what is the purpose. So we wrote few lines. Okay, using HTML, we can create the pages that will display the information in the browser, and even we can correct the information from browser. The user will give the information. So HTML says like yes, I can take care of your input as well as output. But as a developer, when you look inside the HTML, you found it has called tags, right? Now when you start using the tags, then you come to know some tag will have open and close. Some tag will have only open. So if the tag is open and closed, then we given the name called a dependent tag. If the tag is only open, then we given the name called a independent tag. Right? But this dependent and independent, why we need to understand? Because we want our page to work in all the devices. As well as when the page will go to the digital marketing, when the page will go to the Google search engine, Google bots will enter inside your page and they start scanning the content. When they start scanning the content, if the content of your page is not structured properly, then bots will feel confusion and they'll return back from there. Okay? And then your page will go on the lower priority. Your page will not be as a higher priority. And your page will not come in Google search. That is the final result. But if the page is organized properly, document is well structured document, when the bots will enter inside your page to scan the content, bots will find, oh, this is one related to this, this is related to this, this is related to this. So bots will keep connecting each block and they'll find entire content of the page. And tomorrow, if anyone will search any keyword on internet, if the keyword is available in your page, now keyword is going to the Google search engine. People will also search where? In the Google search. Right? So your page will come in the first priority, saying like Google will say, oh, this website has this content. Right? That's how the Google search engine works. Okay. Now come first complete this. So in this total 6 point we have, that 6 point will give you very good concept. Okay. Not as a lecturer point of view, as a developer point of view. Understood? No? Not only audience point of view, as a developer point of view. Yes, you saw it is going to create the field, but how and what? Correct? So how in the sense what? The tags. And what are the tags? We are seeing now. Come down. Write the next line. Next line is called a study. Even I have spoken for some time, saying like when you are in the office, you will open the laptop, you will open a website in the laptop because laptop is open. Correct? You will open the website under the laptop. But when you are in the market and you want to open a website, you will not open the laptop. No? You will open the mobile and start doing something in the mobile itself. That meaning what is your requirement? Your requirement is the pages should work in the mobile also and page should work in the laptop. Minimum 2 requirement, right? So the next point is going to explain you. That is called a responsive page design. Okay. When we say the page should work in mobile also properly and laptop also properly, how that work internally, right? So you can write here behavior of HTML tags. Behavior of HTML tags. Behavior of HTML tags. In that, I'll write the point number 5. Point number 5. Okay. Behavior of HTML tags are of 2 types. One is called block level. Block level. And the 6th point you can write, that is called a inline. Block level element you can write. Why to write half? Block level element. And another one is called a inline element. Again, element words should not confuse you. Element meaning is HTML tags. Okay. element. We have 4 or 5 more names we have, but this we have frequently used now, so let it be this 3 only, right? In JavaScript we call element, in jQuery it's called something else. When you come to the XML, there also it's called something else. Right? JSX we have written 1 point. 1 point is called under the React, what is called JSX element. Right? So 3-4 points I have written. 3 more points are there. I'll guide you. Now come down. So block level element and inline element. Okay. Now inline word, I guess we are aware of. Inline meaning is what? In the same line. Inline meaning same line. Okay. Inline represents same line, but again same line horizontal or vertical. Correct. Horizontal in the sense of what? Side by side, one after another. Correct. And vertical in the sense top to bottom. One line on the top, another in the next. Look at here. When we say inline, this is also called as inline. Correct. And when we say inline, this is also called as which one? Inline only. But here question is which inline we are talking about. We are not talking about this inline. We are talking about this inline. That is called as side by side. Correct. Side by side. Even it is called as horizontal line. Right. Okay. So when you talk about the inline tag, inline element, it will print side by side. It will print side by side. You open the Flipkart, Amazon and all in the laptop. When you open the Flipkart, Amazon in the laptop, you can see 3-4 products will come in one line. And again 4 products will come in the new line. Next product will come to where? New line. Correct. So there what is the behavior? Behavior is inline. See in one line how many can fit? So product will say we 4 can fit in one line. Now entire will fit over. Remaining product will see 4 we can fit here. So what will happen? Line by line it will keep fitting, and in one line according to which it will fit. Here understanding is important because after learning HTML and CSS, you have to create those kind of pages that will work in both the devices. Okay. So I'll come here to our website, InfoCampus website. Okay. Usually I open InfoCampus website only to show something. I don't use someone else's website. People will, because video will get recorded. If video will go somewhere, people claim also for your purpose why you show our website. Correct or not? So that all are the multiple reasons. People email us. In their website we saw this logo, that logo. So many, after so many legal activity, crossing that is become pure in the market. Okay. Now see, come down. Look at these 3 blocks. Sky blue, yellow, and then blue. It is in the same line. So it is called inline behavior. Since the screen size is bigger, so we have converted into inline. Okay. When I'll scroll down a little, we can see these 6-7 options. That is also called as inline. It is printing side by side. Right. Now what else to see? Let's come down. Some more blocks will be there here. Look at here. You can see 4 blocks are there. It is coming side by side. So this is called as inline behavior. Inline behavior. Okay. Since I have opened in the laptop, so laptop screen is big size. So all 4 blocks are able to fit, so it's coming as an inline. But same time, if I open this page in the mobile phone, the behavior of element will get changed. Now, let me go to the mobile phone size. Assume this becomes a small device. Okay. In a small device, when I went, you can see the same block. Where is that? See, it is going to where? New line. New line. Come down again. That 6-7 option was coming. All shifted to where? New line. So when it prints side by side, you can call it a inline element. When it go to the new line, it's called a block element. Okay. So HTML tags, what we have, it is of 2 behavior. One is called inline, another one is called a block. Some tags will print by default in the same line. They don't have any problem with the width. And some tag will print by default in the new line. Whether you write less content, no content, no problem. Always it will print in the new line. Okay. So now those tags that will print in the new line by default, that will be called a block level tag. And those tags will come in the same line, that print the statement in the same line, that is called a inline tag. But our requirement is getting changed here. In large screen, we have like a inline, and in a small screen, we have like a block. So at that point, CSS will come, and CSS will change the behavior of HTML tags. If it is a large screen, then CSS will say HTML, screen is big size, please fit in one line. Okay. If screen size is small, CSS will inform to HTML saying like this is a small screen. Okay, don't come in one line. Go to where? New line. Because if the user want to read you, user should be able to read that, right? So in that case, what will play the role? CSS will play the role to change the behavior from inline to block and block to inline. And in the term of human language, in the term of technical word, we call it a responsive page. That is nothing but you are changing the behavior of tag inline to block and block to inline, so that it's fitting in your screen. Then we say, okay, it's a responsive, right? Hope you are clear with the what is that? Inline and block, right? You can just write the one line of theory. We'll implement and answer you. Those tags that print a statement, right? Print a statement in new line by default. That print the statement in the new line by default. That is called a block level tag. In the case of inline tag in the right, those tags that print a statement in same line, I'll write here side by side. by default. By default. Right? I'll clear this part and we'll write here in note. Okay? Note. Using CSS, what we can do? Number one, block level tag, block level element, we can convert into here for a inline, and after that inline element we can convert into block level element, right? Using what? Using CSS, and that will be called a responsive page design, responsive web page design, right? So I hope 6 point is in mind now. What are the 6 points? I will count you on the finger, and then we'll create one example, and in that example we will understand randomly, yes, this all 6 points we are written, it is valid or invalid. Okay, so what we discuss like, yes, HTML will help us to create the web page where we can display the information and we can clear the information. While implementing this HTML tag, we want to type using that. If we want to display the information, we have to use the output tag. If you want to collect the information from user, we have to follow the input tags. Okay? That meaning HTML tags got split into 2 parts, input and output. Next, after that, when you start writing the code, then you found some tags open and close here at this point. Some tags open and close. So if it is open and close, any tag on any website when you see, if tag is open and closed, with no doubt, just keep in mind, oh, it is called a dependent. If the tag is only open and is ending with the slash, correct? Ending with slash, then it is called this one. Independent element always self-closing. Okay? Right. So 2 things we got to know. Next, what we have called a behavior of tags. Now, with the help of behavior, if you control the behavior of tag, then we can design a responsive web page. Behavior of tags is like, if you are printing hi and again printing the hello, I will go in one line and hello go to the new line. Then both the tags are called a block level. Okay? If hi and hello printing side by side, then it is called a inline. Okay? So those tags that print the statement by default in the new line, that is called a block level tag, and those tags that print the statement by default in the same line, side by side, that is called a inline. Okay? Let me check here. So clear or not clear? You can see I have messaged you something in the chat. You can reply once. Next example, once you create, then clear, then 100% it will become clear. Don't worry. I will create one file now. In that file, I will use 5-6 random tags, not very much, multiple tags. Only 5-6 tags will write. In that 5-6 tags, 100% it will become clear. Okay. This is called the output. This is called the input. This is open, close, dependent. This is only open. This is called the independent. Right. And after that, wherever you read on internet, on YouTube, anywhere you see the content, you will find the HTML tags will be under this control only. How many points? 6 points. Any page you open and remember the 6 policy and look into their tags and see whether 6 policy is matching there. Okay. Let come. Now I will come to the file. Okay. One file I'll create just randomly to understand these points. And after that, I'll guide you file creation, folder creation. Okay. So let me create one file. Something test.html. Every file extension will be .html. You don't create the file just to see this example. Next example as well. Okay. Now in this file, everywhere, whenever you write a HTML file, correct, this line will be important. For example, HTML open and HTML launch. Sometimes people ask, like, why we start HTML file and HTML only? Why not something? Okay. We have some more option called doc type. I'll guide you. Once I open the VS Code, we can follow that. But in this file, you have started the line from HTML and you are ending with HTML. So where you start the HTML and where you end the HTML. So start to end, it's called a document. Start to end, it's called a document. Okay. For whom? For your browser engine. Your browser engine is going to read the content of the page. Inside the same page, you have to write JavaScript also, CSS also, HTML also, many code you have to write, multiple languages. Correct? So where you start the HTML, where you end the HTML, that is called a document. Okay. Now, when you run this file, you will run this page in the browser. When you run this page in the browser, right? Browser will come inside the page and browser will start reading the content, translating the content and display the output in your page. Right? But question is, again, why we have written only HTML? Why not something else? So one answer you got, HTML start to end is called as a document, and you have to add one more point. Okay, first point what will add? HTML start to end is called document. That is going to help for the browser to understand where is the start and where is end. You are defining a boundary, saying like from here to here, not here and there. Okay. Now, second line you need to add, I am informing to the browser engine, saying like this document belongs to where? HTML. When the browser engine will, when compiler, you say, just say compiler, when compiler will enter into this file, the first line, the compiler will come to know HTML. That meaning you given the introduction about your file, saying like this document belongs to where? HTML. You be ready to execute HTML tags. Clear? So what will happen? Your browser will not feel, your compiler will not feel surprised. Going forward, what the browser will get? Browser will get the HTML tags. But in the beginning itself, we introduce saying like this document belongs to where? HTML. Don't take long time to read it. Read fast and display the information quickly. Clear? Like suppose you went somewhere to find out a location, right? You have the location, you have building number, everything is same, but you don't have idea on which floor this particular company is. Now you go first floor, second floor, third floor, fifth floor. You went to the ninth floor, then you found a company is on the ninth. So how many floor you went to? You are shifting everywhere, first floor to second floor to third floor to fifth floor, right? If you have idea the company directly on the ninth floor, what will you do? You will press the left 9 button only. You will not press the first, second, and third, right? So if you are pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you are stopping how many times? So many times. You are spending some time. If you are reaching directly on 9th floor, then what is that? You are saving your time. Same thing you are informing to the compiler saying, right? No need to stop anywhere. Whenever you find the HTML tag, before that, understand this document belongs to where? HTML. In between, you will keep finding the HTML tags on. So be ready to execute. So compiler will be alert. Okay, I have to execute the HTML file, and execution will be fast. Okay. I'll guide you if execution will be slow, what problem will come. But not today, all will be overload. Some other class wants to come. Okay. So HTML open and close. Look at here. In developer guide, what they are written. Tag will open and tag will close. It is called a dependent element, right? HTML open close, it's become a dependent, right? Now HTML will divide into two parts. One is called head, and like document divided into two parts, head, and another one is called a body. Head and body. The document will divide into two parts, head and body. What is the purpose of head? That will write in the next example. And inside the head, what are the options we have to add? Under the body, we are going to see directly. HTML is also dependent tag. Head is also become a dependent, right? Body also become a dependent, right? So that answer is clear, right? Next, after that, in this file, I'll write some famous tag that you have seen on internet just to understand the system. H1 I'll write. I'll keep here college Bangalore. Okay. And I will write one more time H1 only, and I'll keep college Mumbai. So same tag I have used 2 times. Right? While writing the code, you come to know, okay, H1 is a block level, not block level. H1 is a dependent tag because open and close. Okay? Once we run this file, once this output will come in the browser, then we'll come to know, oh, it is the same line or new line. If it is the same line, then inline tag. If it is a new line, then block level tag. Now let me go here. So we are clear. Open close means dependent. Head is also open close, body also open close. H1 is open and close is called dependent. One answer is ready. Another answer we are going to find out whether it is inline or block. Same line or new line. Correct? I'll run this file simply. I'll guide you how to run and all. Now see. After Bangalore, there is huge space in the same line. Space is there. Lot of space, but Mumbai is not agreed to come in one line. Correct? Reason is the behavior of tag. The tag you have follow. H1 and H1 both the place. The behavior of H1 is block level. It is not called a inline. Inline means side by side. Bangalore and Mumbai print side by side. But this becomes a block. It will go to where? New line. Right? Come next. I hope you are able to understand 2 points. One is called open close means dependent. Another one is print in the new line, then block level. Correct? Come on. Next few lines I'll write again. I'll use a tag called label tag, and I'll write here something called some technology name, HTML, and I will use again label tag itself. There I'll use called CSS. So while writing the code again, we come to know label is also dependent. Open and close is there. But when we go to the browser, then we'll come to know whether label is inline or block. Correct? Now let me come here. See? HTML and CSS both are printing in the same line. We have discussed if it is print side by side, then it is called a inline tag. Now HTML and CSS both are printing side by side. That becomes a inline tag. Okay. So when you look into the code, common thing is what? All the tags are open and closed. Right? All are open closed. But when we went to the browser, some tag is printing in the same line and some tags are printing in the new line. Right? So you don't need to worry what will happen and how many tags are there. Nothing to worry. Whatever the tags you have in the market, if the tag print in the new line, that is called a block level. If tag print in the same line, that is called a inline. Okay. Block to inline, I'll guide you using 6 ways you can convert. Where to where? Block to inline. Like suppose both H1 is printing in the new line, we want to print in the same line. 6 methods there, right? But that will come where? Under the CSS. Okay, so out of this, let me count once. Okay, we have written if the tag will print the output, then it is called as a output tag. So in browser, what we have? This is the input or output? Output. So this is called as a output tag. Number 2, be written if the tag is open close, then it's called as a dependent. So you can see here all are open close. So all are called as a dependent tag. When we have written here, if the tag will come in the here. Another point we are written called independent. Correct? Not this one. This is called as something else. This is called block level. You are clear? After that, this is called what? Dependent. Another one is called block level. Next we have written called as inline. Right? Inline. So it says like if the tag will print in the same line, then it is called as an inline tag. Right? So we can see here, these two are printing in the new line, becomes a block, and these two are printing in the same line, called as an inline. Now few tags we need to see that will guide us about this, called as an independent. And few tags we need to see that should guide us about this one, called as an input. Let me go here. I will write here a tag called enter your name, input type equal to text. Since this is this one, this is called as a, see, open and close together. Open here and slash came in the last. Close together becomes a self-closing, independent. There is no separate closing for this, becomes a independent tag. And these all are called as a dependent tag. After looking into the code, we come to know open close means you are dependent. And only open, then it's called as a self-closing. Let me write here called enter while. Input type equal to number I'll write here because type of input also we have different. You can see now. So these two become a independent tag. This all become a dependent tag. Now we'll come in the browser. There we'll see inline or block. Correct? Look at here. These all are called as inline. Whereas these two are called as block. These all are called as output. And these two are called as input. So this much only know. We have tags. One is for output. That is here you saw. Another one is for input. That here you saw. Correct? Another one, if you print in the new line, then it's called a block. If you print in the same line, then it's called a inline. If it is open close, then it's called a dependent. If it is only open, then it's called a independent. That only I have written only 6 points. Correct? And those 6 points are matching under these 5-6 tags itself. Right? So whichever the tag you are going to follow, whichever I'm talking about all the HTML4 and HTML5 tags, even including user defined tags also, all will match under these 6 points. Correct? These 6 points is written here after nearly the experience of last many years, since 2008 to till date. Okay, after looking into the internet possibilities, this 6 point has come out. Okay, so this 6 point will give you very good idea to understand the code. Okay, now I guess if suppose some people have a confusion, they are clear with this, right? No need to worry. 1-2 example you will create automatically. Mind will understand, that is guarantee. Finger will also remember. Finger will also remember. Dependent means it will close. No need to give the instruction to the finger. Correct? And mind will have storage. When the finger will confuse, mind will it's a dependent. Please close it. Correct or not? That is called what? Developer. Okay? You will see in your family or friend someone who will talk to you and then write the code. What is that meaning? Finger know what to do. Correct? Mind had given the instruction in the beginning only. When thought came in the mind, what happened? Input gone to the finger, saying like you write this. And I speak something else, you write it. Correct? So that meaning your everything is well trained. Correct? So developer work like that only. Okay? Keep writing. So many things will remember automatically.
Sir, one doubt on the
someone can see you have this problem. Correct? Or maybe you will sit somewhere and you will say, I'm facing this problem. I will ask you to tell me one problem. You will say this much. I'll tell okay, check this possibility. That is called what? Practice and experience. Right? Okay. Someone asked something. Please tell me.
Yeah. One doubt, sir, on that output, whatever you have displayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one came as block and one came as inline. So what is the difference? Why it came like that? When you have entered the same as dependent only, still that came as
that is only we have written the rule now. That only we have written the rule saying like the tag can be dependent or independent, no matter. Okay, tag can be block or inline, no matter. Right. So even yes, you have seen that is right only. You saw here these two are open close. Right.
Correct.
New line. These two are also open close. It's printing in the same lines. So what is the common in this? Common is structure is same, but the behavior is different. Right. We have written here. No, structure is a what is the structure of tag and what is the behavior of the tag. So a structure is same, but the behavior is different. That is from the behavior of the tag. In that there is no any contribution from our side. Okay.
So if in case we need that behavior to be changed, we can change that, right?
We can change it. Everything we can change.
Okay.
CSS is made for that purpose only. CSS is like HTML, I will handle you, don't worry. However, the user want to see you, I will help you out. Who will say? CSS. Because CSS has a stock of property, unlimited property. Where? Under the CSS. And HTML have a list of tags. So the placeholder will come from the HTML. That is called tags. And the beautifying of the placeholder means changing the structure, applying the behavior, right? Changing each and everything will handle by CSS. Design part and talk. Functionality will take care by JavaScript. Okay, functionality will taken care by JavaScript. Design part of your CSS will work on HTML. Okay, but if you look into the photo, where is the CSS? CSS is not at front. CSS is on the second step. If you will cut the HTML, CSS is helpless. CSS cannot do anything. If you cut the HTML, CSS cannot do anything in the browser. Okay, so HTML should be there. Then only CSS will merge with HTML, and then it will behave whatever you want. Okay? Behavior, everything we can change. Okay, we have one option now. I don't know, not to change the behavior. Correct? Like this is one block level, and this is called as a inline. Correct? Now this is also inline, so all are printing in all 4 lines are printing in the same line. HTML has given some tag that will not display any output, but it will break the line. Okay, how it will break the line? Look at here. So I'll not use the BR here. I'll use called tag called HR to understand how BR will work. To understand the BR, you have to see the HR first. Okay, now look at here. I will go to the browser and show you. Now this is the 2 tags, label and label. Both are coming the same line. This was the input tag. In between we added called HR, horizontal line, horizontal rule. It's called horizontal rule. Now what horizontal rule is doing? It is starting from the very beginning and ending to where? Last. So HR has covered the full width from beginning to last. Now no one can come in the same line. HR say I am covering the full width. Label you be in the separate line, and the text boxes you go to the new line. I will cover how much? Full width. Because before HR no space, after HR also no space. So what will happen? That meaning it's cover the full width. But line is coming, right? Solution is what? With the help of HR we understood. What is the meaning of full width? Now the similar way, HR will remove and will put called a BR. BR will not visible, but BR will cover the full width. How HR was covering the full width? Similar way, BR will also cover the full width, but BR will be invisible. BR will be non-visible. Right? Now let me show you here. Line break will happen, but not visible. Correct? Here you are not changing the behavior of tags. Keep in mind, your behavior remains same. You are saying you go to the one line and you go to the another line. In between, someone else will come. So if someone else will come in between, line break will happen automatically. It will become a double line. But changing the behavior is the different thing that we can do with the help of CSS. And changing the behavior in line to block, in block to inline. I told you 6-7 options we have. Okay, some old method as well as some new method. All options we have. Okay, so we are clear till here, right? Now come to your system. System, are we following the system? Laptop we have. If you have laptop, open the system. See, any work I'm talking, any work, consistency is required. Okay, that's for the durability. Okay, if anything, if we understand or we'll implement or we'll learn in the smooth manner from the 0 level to till end point, then we'll come to know end to end. Right? If you start in between, drop in between, come in the last, you will not come to know what happened in between. Right? If you start in between and then you continue, you will not understand what happened in the beginning. So regularity plays a major important. Right? Okay, system open. Now you create a folder. One folder you create called HTML. That will be our first step. HTML. Okay. You create one more folder called CSS. That will be our second step. Create the third folder. Bootstrap will be our third step. Okay. Then JavaScript will be our fourth step. Okay. React will be our which one? Fifth step. And one more folder you create, live server. Live server. We will keep using this always. So this many folder you create, and then according to need, we will keep working on each and every folder time to time. In case if anyone is not following the system today, try arranging next 1-2 classes. Will be helpful for you because writing the code is important. That is the main target. No other target. I'll not suggest to read any theory from anywhere. First to implement it, you will be able to write the theory. If you understand the implementation, then we can speak some few lines more. Right? So if you have a knowledge of implementation, you can speak the theory in your own way. You can speak the theory in your own language. Correct? But if you know only theory, unable to implement, you cannot switch the technology. You cannot switch the language. You cannot talk in different way. You will always talking in only one way. Okay. So folders are ready, right? So we'll go to the first under the HTML. Editor, I have guided you yesterday to install. Have you installed the VS Code editor? Okay. If anyone has missed out to install, this would install today and then you get ready. Now open your VS Code editor, search in the system and open the VS Code editor. You can search, you can type in search box for VS Code. It will come here, click on that, VS Code editor will get open. Okay, VS Code editor will get open. Now in VS Code editor, we need to load that folder. Which folder? HTML folder. We have made the folder today, HTML, right? That folder we need to load here under the VS Code editor. So most of the time what people will do, they will open the VS Code editor, they'll create the file and they will start running. We need to find the folder, they will not come to know where is the folder. Correct? So we'll not follow that. We need to know what is my folder and how I have loaded under the VS Code. So you will go to the file menu. In file menu, you will find an option called open folder. Open folder. File menu option will be called open folder. You just go to your system, find out your folder where you created. You will find the HTML, just click on that and click on select folder. After clicking on HTML, click on select folder. That HTML folder will get loaded here. Okay, book ready. Again, I'll guide you. We need to go to the file. From we can select the open folder. You need to go to your system, find out where you created the HTML folder. Go to that and click on HTML and click on where? Select folder. So your HTML folder will get loaded here. Right? After that, next step is, I suggest you not to write the theory in the notebook. Okay, whichever the theory we are writing in notebook, leave the notebook. Let's come to the where? System. All the notes you write in the system. If you want to design some photo, take the photo in mobile. Mobile will be with you always. Photo will be with you always. Right? Which photo? Like suppose I designed something yesterday. Notebook you will leave somewhere in the desk, somewhere you will leave entire design. If it is a photo, then what will happen? Whenever you scroll your mobile, you can see the photo. Right? So whenever we need to design something, we'll take a pic. And when we need to make some note, we will write in the system. Okay? So first you go here and see there is an option. 3 options are there. File, folder, then something are there. You can click on first option, and enter the file name called HTML guide. HTML guide.txt. HTML guide.txt. So in this HTML guide, we will be writing the notes all related to HTML. Whichever we'll implement and whichever the theories will come, all will keep writing under the HTML developer guide as a text file. Okay. HTML developer guide is a text file. So file is loaded and it's come here. Now go to this HTML developer guide. Write in this one question called what is valid extension of HTML file? Like when you are going to create the file, we have to give some extension. What will be the extension? Okay, so let me ask, how many of you are following now system? Say yes, no. Are you following the system? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no? So one person, Srini, very good, very good, very good. So many. Right. Good. That is the best practice. Okay, which one? System. You should write in system. Last many years we have written many things in the notebook. Right? Very good not happen in the career or future. Right now, it's time to ignore the notebook and come back to where? System. Write everything under the system. Run in the system. If anything wrong will happen, you will come to know this is wrong syntax. If you write in notebook, what will come to know is wrong or right? Notebook pen run ever? Never. write in system, run in front of me. Any error will come, I'll guide you immediately. Okay. If error will come in home, then no problem for that. Tomorrow, next day is available. We'll create a WhatsApp group, in that we'll communicate. You can send the code of your photo also directly. Okay. We can say line number 344 is missing. So that will be helpful for you. Okay. Right. So we wrote what is the valid extension of HTML file. Two way we can give the extension. Two options we have. One is called .html and another one is .htm. In this case, you can write first one best for digital marketing. In that you can write also SEO friendly. SEO friendly. SEO friendly, what it represent? It is SEO word is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization. Okay, SEO friendly I wrote, that represent your page will be compatible with the Google search regulation. When you display the page in the Google search, when you ask the Google to display your page in Google search, Google will say, like your website, I have multi-billion website. So what is unique in your website? Right? So we'll say, my website is unique in the term of following. Then Google will say, let me check. If it is really unique, then I'll bring your page in the Google search. Right? Best for digital marketing. Best for digital marketing. SEO friendly, I know. Okay, written. Now we'll create one HTML file. Go here. Okay, even also you can do one thing. Inside the file menu, you see, in file menu, you can see, you have option called auto save. Check that. Auto save. Click on file and look at here, auto save is there. Click on that once. Auto save. If it is not ticked by default, then click once. Now what is that? Your VS Code become a auto save. So whenever you create any new file and write the code, you will not have to worry about the file saved or not. As soon as you modify the code, your code will be saved by the VS Code automatically. Okay, right? So in file menu, auto save we need to enable. Next, after that, again go to the left hand side and click on the first plus symbol and enter the file name page1.html. Give the file name page1.html and enter. Page1.html and enter. Page1.html and enter. Okay, enter. One file is ready. That is called HTML file. Inside this HTML file, according to need, we will add the tags. So it is not necessary that everything we have to add in today only. We will add those tags, those things that is required. Once we come in CSS, we will add those tags that is required. Okay. Now suppose you can follow with me here. When we write here, less than symbol, one line appear. That is called doc type. Okay. Right? Anything coming like this? Enter. Just enter it, it will get selected. Doc type HTML. So even people ask in interview, what is the meaning of doc type? So we can say we are, the previous example you saw there, we are in the HTML, start HTML in, that line remains same. But in this line you are writing, doc type represent, HTML represent. In this current file, we have used some tags that belong to HTML5. Doc type represent the tags about which tag? HTML5. You are informing to browser saying that in this document, there will be some HTML5 tags also. So be ready to execute that. Okay, come down. Right below call HTML open and just follow like this. Automatically open close will happen. Right. After that, what you need? We require call head. No problem. Open that. And then another one we require call body. No problem. Open and close that. HTML open close. Head open close. Body open close. In this file, which tag open in the beginning and close in the last? Which tag is open in the beginning and close in the last? HTML open in the beginning and close in the last. And which tag open last and close first? Open in the last and close first. Look at here. HTML open in the beginning, closing in the last. Body is open in the last and body got closed before HTML. Right? So it is not you are writing manually. It is the rule regulation. What is the rule regulation? The tag should open in the beginning, must get closed in the last. and the tag open in the last, it should get closed first. Okay, which one? The tag open first should get closed in the last, and the tag open last should get closed first. Okay. If you will not follow this formula, your page will become browser dependent. This rule is given by 𝕊𝖆𝖆𝖆𝖗𝑠 schools many years ago. 𝕊𝖆𝖆𝖆𝑠chools.com. You have seen 𝕊𝖆𝖆𝖆𝑠chools.com website, Poemas website. Okay. From there, it's an organization. From there, this will come. Right. So if you are making your page, you must follow this tag. Then only it will be browser independent. Else it will become again browser dependent. Okay. So we'll write the notes for that also. Now go to the body tag. Write here one H1 and write your name only. Welcome. Write your name. I will put my name. Welcome. H1 open close. Write your name. Welcome and particular name. Save the file. Save the file. Okay. So one line we wrote. Now question is how to run it. Okay. How to run it. So no need to worry. You can see here. There is option called run. We have option called run. Go to the run and click on this one. Second option. Go to the run and click on second option. Run without debugging. It's HTML code, no need to debug anything. Run without debugging. Then it will ask the browser. Selecting, the asking browser. Select whichever the browser you have. If you have Chrome, select the Chrome. Mozilla, select Mozilla. Whichever we have, just select that. I selected called Chrome. Automatically this page will open in the browser. And it will say welcome particular name. Right? I will write again. Okay. I will go here. This is the file, how to run it. We need to go to the run. Inside the run, we have option called run without debugging. Click on that. It will ask you the browser name. Select the browser and it will be like this. So this way we will keep running the HTML page. Okay. And how we'll create the file? Our file extension will be .html and HTML few files will create under the HTML folder. Once we get some basic idea, then we'll create under the HTML only input tag folder and one output tag folder. Under the output tag, all the output tag. Under the input tag, all the input tags. And once we get the idea on input and output, then we'll create a project folder. There we'll use both input and output together. By then 7-8 classes will happen. You will become expert in SQL. Okay. Fine. So hope you have tried to run this file. Run for how many people? Running for everyone?